Yo, what's up guys? Today I'm going to explain how to get rid of fear fast. I'm sure you have tried a bunch of techniques in order to get rid of emotions. If you're a little bit more spiritual, you might have tried like meditation, like surrendering, like stuff like this. If you're more logical, you might have tried like pushing through it, examining the cause, all of this. Today I'm going to explain you how to actually reduce fear. And we're going to do it by understanding emotions first of all. So first of all, understand it's futile to fight emotions because this only creates more force, and this force creates more potential energy, which is energy that's stored waiting to be released. So you know when you have like a spring, and by the way, I recorded an in-depth video about this topic. If you don't understand it, it's called Life is Balance. So you know a spring. When you compress the spring and you don't release it, then the energy is waiting to be released and it's stored inside the spring. And when you release the spring, it like pops out all at once. So it's the same thing with emotions. When you fight emotions, you're actually creating more force, and this force combined with the energy of the emotions, because obviously emotion means energy in motion. This creates a lot of potential energy, and when this potential energy, so the energy that's stored waiting to be released, when this becomes too much, and when it exceeds a certain point, actually the point is usually when you're obsessed or you take it too far, balanced forces kick in. So once again, I made a complete video about this, and these will do anything to restore the balance. So they might actually give you what you fear, so the energy is released, or eliminating it in any other way. So if you don't believe this, just try it out. Grab something which you fear. So if it's approaching girls, really think about approaching girls for a week. Really lean into the fear, and I'm guaranteeing you that there's going to be a scenario where you get thoughts about approaching a girl, just so the energy is released. This is how it works. And now actually, let's talk about how to actually solve it, because I just told you that fighting emotions doesn't work because this only creates more force. So what do you actually do instead of fighting them? Now you might have already tried some techniques, but they possibly didn't work. Otherwise you probably wouldn't be watching this video, or unless you just like this, which I would like as well. So what can you actually do? Well, first understand the root cause. Emotions are born out of your attitude towards things. For example, I cannot fail on any account. Everything will be alright. I don't care whether it works or not. Everything will go horribly wrong. This is scary. I am confident. Might not be entirely right with the tonality on these ones, but I hope you get the point. And understand that attitude is born out of importance. So emotions are born out of your attitude. Stuff like this. If you're confident about something, usually you don't feel fear. If you are scared about something, usually you do feel fear. Your attitude to the problem, to whatever thing you're fearing or not fearing, is born out of your attitude. But the attitude is born out of the importance that you give to things. And there's basically two types of importance, and this is usually mental importance, by the way. There's inner importance and outer importance. Inner importance means I am important. I am important, and therefore you basically have emotions, and they kind of come back to this point. I will show you with a few examples how this works, then it will all make sense. And outer importance is this is important to me. So inner importance would be like I am important, and that's the reason why I fear this. I cannot die, for example, because I am important. That's usually what you think when you like fear something. Usually fear is like fear of getting rejected. Usually you fear getting rejected because you think you're important. Might sound harsh, but it's true. The same with outer importance, but slightly different. Like for example, this object is really important to me. So for example, like if you have a house, you might say my house is really important to me. Or if you have a business, which is more likely than a house, depending on like how old you are and what type of person you are. I definitely don't have a house, but a business also could be something that is important to you. So the key to reducing fear, or really any type of negative emotion, is reducing importance. It's not trying and fighting them. It's not trying and changing your attitude. It is in a sense, but you have to change your attitude through reducing importance. How do you do this? Well, inner importance is reduced by understanding that you're not important, ironically, but also that you're totally not unimportant. Because if you take this too far and you say like, I'm not important, I'm useless in this world, no one cares about me, you're taking it too far. Once again, you're creating too much energy that's stored, this time in a negative fashion, because it doesn't matter to the spring whether it's negative energy or positive energy. The energy is just stored waiting to be released. And when it becomes too much, when you really go deep into depression, the energy has to be released somehow. And it's either going to do that by getting you out of depression in any way possible or something else. So the second way to reduce, the way to reduce our importance is going to be having a safety net. This is going to absolutely be one of the most important things, ironically, in pretty much your life, because you need to be able to reduce emotions. And it's really hard to convince yourself that something is 100% going to guaranteed happen. We're very bad at convincing ourselves that stuff is true. I also made a video about this called Don't Convince Yourself, I think. But you cannot convince yourself of anything if there's direct evidence staring you in the face. If you have $10 in your bank account, as an extreme example, then you're never going to convince yourself that you're going to like become super rich, or even that you're going to be able to pay rent next month. That's just not going to happen. So you want to have a safety net. Maybe $10 is an extreme example. I don't think that you have that, but that's just the case. Now, a quick caveat, doing nothing actually only makes it worse. So if you don't do anything, then the excess potential energy is only going to be more, and this is only going to create more undesirable effects. So what I mean with this is you have to do something with the emotions, okay? You cannot fight them, but you can also not do nothing. Because if you do nothing, this energy that starts building up, like the spring, is going to eventually become too much. So you can, by the way, also eliminate excess potential through action. So what you can also do, and a lot of people do this, and I don't necessarily think it's the best way, but they try and push through the emotions. So for example, if you really fear, and I think I have like an example in a second, so I'll wait with that. Anyway, you also don't want to suppress fear or excitement. So if you suppress the emotion, once again, you're creating the force. And when the force becomes too much, there's too much excess potential waiting to be released, and it has to be released somehow. So allow the emotions. That's the first thing. Allow the emotions to be there. Allow them. Now, this applies to so many things. I'm actually going to show you with an example why having a safety net is so important, and why also, ironically, and why understanding that you're not important is also important. So let's say that you are walking from one building to another, and it's extremely high, like let's say like 1,000 or like 10,000 meters, which is like 10 kilometers. I don't even, this is probably like a really strange example. I'm sorry for this. Anyway, you're just walking across a building on a really tight rope. This represents the rope, and this is the guy that's walking. Now, if he doesn't have a safety net, he's going to be absolutely terrified, because one mistake could be fatal. One mistake could mean the end of his life. And because we're so like biological and you could say like we don't want to die essentially, this is going to cause a lot of fear of obviously death. So on the other hand, if you do actually have a safety net, you're going to be also probably not too comfortable with this, but you're going to be a lot more comfortable than if you don't have a safety net. Because even if you fall, even if you make a mistake in this case, then you're still going to fall onto the safety net. Okay? So this kind of represents the same as what I just explained about the safety net. And this applies to so many things: day-to-day actions, goals, and solving problems. One example for each, and then I'll pretty much wrap it up. So fear before approaching a beautiful girl, for example. This can be like something which you come across. Now what happens is fear comes up as a result of your attitude. And you probably are not aware of this. This happens so fast that it's an unconscious process. And your attitude is basically, this is scary. Because you're approaching a girl and your attitude is, this is scary. Why is it scary? Well, because you might be rejected. Usually you have to ask yourself why with these things to understand the root cause of your attitude or your importance. So the reason that you have this attitude is because you think you might be rejected. So therefore you fear approaching the girl. This is kind of like how it works at a primitive level, I think. So your attitude is born out of the importance that you give to something. In this case, it's inner importance, because you said, I might be rejected. I might be rejected. I cannot be rejected. Like, I am important, I cannot be rejected. That's the kind of point of this one. And you have to reduce this once again by understanding you're not important nor totally insignificant. And that's pretty much the way to do it. So the next time that you approach a girl, just understand that you're not that important. There's 8 billion, I think 8 billion people in the world. There's like, the earth is like 4.5 billion years old. That 1 second of you speaking to her is probably not going to end your life or her, and you're not that important. And this, I guarantee if you try this out with anything, I'm going to show a few more examples in a second, this actually works like a charm. The second one is with goals. Let's say you have fear of failure. Usually when you pursue a goal, you always have fear of failure, especially if you pursue like financial goals, big goals. And this comes up as a result of your attitude once again. So your attitude in this case is, I cannot fail. This goal is everything to me. There's two layers to this. This is the inner importance. I cannot fail. I am important. I cannot fail. People will judge me. The second one is, this goal is everything to me. So this is obviously like an outer importance. The goal is important. Okay, so we have inner importance on the right, outer importance on the left. Understand your attitude is born out of importance. So basically, this happens because of your attitude towards the issue you're facing, or towards the goal you have in this case. So the solution to inner importance is once again reducing by understanding you're not important or totally insignificant. So understand, I cannot fail, okay, but are you that important? No, so why does it matter if you fail? It doesn't, because you're not that important. I'm not saying this to like bring you down. I'm saying this to make it easier for you to reduce your emotions, because it's true. You're not that important. Your life is just a blip in an infinite cause and effect relationship. So I really love that saying, by the way. But that aside, the solution to outer importance was having a safety net. So just know that you can always find a job if it doesn't work out. If your business fails, cool. You still have the option to get a job, especially if you live in the West. Then you probably will have a pretty decent life. And then save some backup funds. So don't go all in on your business. Don't spend all of your money on the business. Obviously, if you have a lot of money, it makes sense to invest, but always keep some backup. Otherwise, if you take it too far, you might actually lose all of the money, because all of the pressure builds up in one area and then the potential has to be released somehow. Okay? So that's basically how it works. Let me see. I think I had a final example. Oh yeah, solving problems. So not getting clients, for example. If you struggle at getting clients for your business, there's a lot of fear linked to it usually, because you're usually like, I need to get clients because I need to make money, because it's born out of your attitude once again. So understand the fear. The fear comes as a result of your attitude, which is I need to get clients, which actually comes from I need to make money. So usually just ask yourself why to the first answer that comes to mind, and you will discover the root cause. You might have to do this a few times. So I need to make money. Understand that your attitude is born out of importance. In this case, it's outer importance, because you're saying money is important to me. I need to make money. Money is important to me for me to live my life. Okay? So in that case, what you want to do is basically have a safety net. Once again, it's outer importance. So we come back to the point of having backup funds. So if you think that you need to get clients, and if you're really fearful about getting clients, then the best thing you could do is don't worry about it and start saving money so you will not like go broke if you don't sign clients. That's pretty much the easiest way to do it. This is why people who do have a job, I can imagine, have more success. I don't have experience with this, so this is just like a theory. I also have never worked a 9-to-5 job, so keep that in mind. But it can be a good alternative because you have less importance when you have a job. There are downsides to it as well, but there might be an upside to this as well. So that's essentially how it works. If you want to reduce emotions, you have to understand the emotion is born out of the attitude you have towards the thing, and your attitude is born out of the importance. So if you really want to reduce fear and get rid of fear fast, if you really want to reduce emotions, you have to reduce importance. How do you reduce importance? 2 simple ways: understand you're not important and have a safety net. This is going to be a game changer for you. I already know it. Try it out in your life with anything simple, whether it's going to the gym, whether it's like approaching a girl, whether it's with your big goal, whether it's like solving a problem you have right now. Try this out, change your attitude, change your importance, and I'm sure that the results will be amazing, because I've tried this out for myself plenty of times and it has produced amazing results. Hope you enjoyed today's video. I really enjoyed making it. I'm looking forward to see you in the next one.